Single retirement. You're going to hate it. You're just going to hate it. Isn't that the prevailing comments you see a lot? Oh, single retirement. You're going to need a lot more money. Maybe, maybe not. It's going to be real lonely. Hard to make friends. Again, maybe, maybe not. I've got 6 stories for you, and I want you guys to tell me after these 6 stories, how bad do you think it is? And I tried to get a good cross section. Most of these are from Reddit, but I went through a whole bunch of stories, got a good cross section, okay? So you that are already retired single, leave me some comments. How's it going for you? Those who are thinking about retiring as a single, got any fears? Got any hopes? Let me know. So here's number 1 for you. Let me know afterwards, guys. What do you think? Those 6 stories, these 6 stories. Is it bad or is it good or in between? Let me know. Number 1. This lady was widowed at 53 years old. She retired at 54. She enjoys not having to ask anyone what she can do. She has married friends that don't have to do couple things. That's awesome, right? If you're a single person, I know especially as you get older, you might feel kind of like as a tag along. But if you got friends where if they're married or whatever, it doesn't matter, who cares? Sounds pretty good to me. The one thing that she says is it's hard to take care of their house by herself without her husband. They bought the house together, big house, hard to take care of it by herself. She has always made all the financial decisions on her own. So that's not a problem. So what do you think about that first story? Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Hey, this is a channel for retiring on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video. My name is Duane, by the way. For this, you can call me Uncle Duane for story time. Number 2, this is a single female, 67 years old. She retired at 60. Then her partner died suddenly, her partner of 40 years. She retired with her partner to a smaller city, but now she has no social life because it's a smaller city than she's used to. There's not many friends to be made. She says, sometimes I feel so lonely and isolated, it hurts. Okay, I feel for you. She makes one effort to connect with someone once a day via phone or text. Okay, that one can be kind of negative, right? I get it. Especially if you just retired and then your partner dies suddenly. What are you going to do about that? That can't help but be a negative, right? And then retiring to a city that is smaller with not as many friends that can be made. Like we've talked about before, the pool of friends shrinks as you get older. When you're working, school, easy to make friends. When you're retired, maybe not so much. Here is story number 3. This is a man. He posted on Reddit, a couple could deal with expenses easier. I'm nearing retirement and I'm worried how I'm going to get by on Social Security and a limited 401k. I've never owned a house, so I will always pay rent. Okay, this is someone who hasn't retired yet. Okay, now I'm sure a lot of those of you guys who are watching who have not retired and are single may be thinking the same thing. And yes, if you're single, you do need to have a little bit bigger retirement nest egg than if you were married. Makes sense, right? You're only going to have one Social Security, not 2 coming in. You're going to, on the plus side, your only expenses are for you, okay? If things go bad, kind of easy to shift on your own. If it's just you have to worry about, cut down those expenses a little bit. Not as hard as it would be with a couple sometimes. Here is story number 4. A woman just turned 66 years old. She retired 5 years ago. She sold her house and now rents in a beautiful, walkable city. That's a big key. That's a big key when you're retired. If you live in a walkable city, I'm thinking about Long Beach. I was thinking about moving to Long Beach before I was retired. Very walkable city. Think about it, guys. All those things in your area that you can walk to, and at the same time, you're getting your exercise. That's a great plus. Where am I? Recently, she joined a Facebook group of retired women. She has a boyfriend who's 50. Woo! You go, girl. 66, boyfriend who's 50. Living it up, baby. They've been together 3 years but live apart. It works for them. Okay, Uncle Duane here can tell you, as a single retiree who has a long-term girlfriend, 21 years now, you don't always have to get married, number one. You don't always have to live together, number two. It's whatever works for the couple. This has always really worked for us, living separately. Before I retired, I lived in part of a duplex. She's owned her own house for 20 years. We were only about a mile and a half away, but we still lived separately. Whatever works for you as a couple, you do it. Who cares what society says, your friends, your family? You do you, especially as you get older, man. Who cares? When you get older, you do your own thing. Right, Bob? Irie. Number 5. Here, and okay, Bob, you're going to like this story, believe me. Here's a man who's divorced and retired. He helps his kids when they need it. So he lives close to his kids. Okay, there's good social interaction there. He corresponds with old friends weekly. He has reverted in his retirement to his older hippie self. This is what he says, his hippie self. Here's a description of his day. He runs at dawn. He prays. Then he eats wholesome food. He does household work / learns things in the afternoon. And then he smokes a little pot at sunset. And then he goes to sleep. Says it's heaven for him. Okay, I know for a lot of you that may not be heaven. But again, you can do whatever you want in retirement, guys. Whatever works for you is what works. Who cares what people say, right? Do what you want to do, when you want to do, how you want to do it. It's the only way to do it. Here's the last story for you. And again, are you guys seeing any pattern here? Let me know if you are. Woman, 58 years old, divorced, says her life is amazing. She does everything alone, but she's not complaining at all. It doesn't bother her. She runs all her important matters, health, financial, whatever, by her 2 adult children before she makes the decision. Okay? So again, interaction, right? 2 adult children. We had the other story up here about how she's going out with her friends that are married, but it doesn't have to be a couple thing. She's like a third wheel, but it doesn't matter to her or the couple friends. Okay, getting back to the woman. Some days, all she does is watch TV. Other days, she's out dancing till 2 a.m. Not bad, guys, not bad for someone who is single and retired. So what do you guys think? And again, I tried to have a good cross-section. I read a ton of stories on here, okay? Does single retirement, is it as bad as they say? I don't think so. It's all how you want to make it, all how you want to take charge of your retirement, whether you're single or married, doesn't matter. As long as you've got your finances in check. Now, the one guy here said he is not retired yet, but he's worried about how he can make it on his smallish 401k and Social Security. Well, you know what? You need more planning so you can be sure of that. So, guys, it doesn't matter if you're single, if you're married, divorced, whatever it is. Now, the person who recently lost her husband, I get it. Or was it wife? I don't want to go back, but it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. If you have recently lost a spouse, yeah, that changes a lot of things, right? It could change everything, and it could take a long time before you get back on your feet. But in my opinion, with just these 6 stories here, Single retirement? No, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. The media, everyone else. You make your retirement how you want it to be. I don't care if you're single, married, whatever. If you're lonely, get out of your comfort zone and make friends. It's all about interaction. That is the whole thing that ties, I think, those 6 stories together. Interaction. You have to interact, whether it's text, Facebook groups, in person. That is the key to me of a single retirement. Keep up those interactions, those connections, social connections, and you'll be just fine. And as always, from me and my buddy Bob from the high desert, we got this.